So, interested in web hosting, are we? Maybe you're learning to build sites. Maybe you have one already and now you realize you need to host it somewhere. No matter why you're here, let me explain web hosting in 7 minutes or so. Alright, web or website hosting can be explained with real-life examples by just changing the term hosting to renting. If you want to open up a store or any business, you have to rent space to keep all your stuff in and be reachable to the broader audience. A website is just a combination of stuff: pages, posts, images, and other elements. Just like in real life, we need to rent virtual space from a good provider or own the technology needed. Basically, if you have a PC, you can host a website yourself and be in full control of your web hosting. More on that later. But how do users reach your web hosting? If we have rental space, visitors can reach it by entering its URL. Each website has to have a unique address, URL, or domain name associated with that specific location on the server. When somebody wants to visit your website, the browser goes to a specific server, looks for a file directory, and then displays what's there. Now, if we're being more specific, it's not truly URLs or domain names that browsers search for. Each domain name is linked with a specific IP address that looks something like this. Naturally, saying to your friend, hey, visit me at tomsblog.net is easier than saying visit me at 14.144.72.188. So you have space on a physical server or computer that you rent. Put all your website files there and the provider allows users to visit it 24/7. So what can we do from here on? Well, as I mentioned, you could create your own server. Creating one isn't that difficult if you're looking for bad website hosting. Not only do you need extensive knowledge, but also expensive technology like SSD drives. The main reason why users get hosting from providers like Hostinger or Bluehost is that most of us can't run servers 24/7, but these providers can. So not to be rude, but I think all of us, including me, don't really want to get into all that hassle just to host a simple website. There are a lot of different types of web hosting. I'll cover them more later on, but I highly advise starting with simple shared hosting. And some reliable providers can give you plans with multiple sites for under $5 a month. Of course, the best pricing is usually kept under the longest subscriptions. But when 4 years of Hostinger cost less than $150, that's honestly a steal for what you get. A few other things to note about picking a good provider for hosting. Free SSL is mandatory for any professional website nowadays. If the provider does not give one, run. Second, most hosting plans come with a free domain name for the first year, being a convenient way to save money. Third, providers usually include free website builders, so if you're completely new, it's a simple way to create and launch a website quickly. Finally, most best web hosting providers have good support networks that can help out if you run into problems. As for my recommendations, Bluehost is the best WordPress optimized hosting, even being recommended by the creators themselves. However, if you're looking to get the best value while spending the least, I recommend you go with Hostinger. The main reason is that you get 10 times more storage space, a more flexible website limit, and a website builder for a similar price to most industry leaders. On top of that, Hostinger web hosting is constantly being upgraded, and new features are added or optimized to make managing your site as easy as possible. If you choose any of my recommendations, there are discount links in the description to help you start your hosting journey at the lowest cost possible. So by now, you should know how web hosting works, but what about all the different types on offer? Well, again, I recommend you start with shared since it's the cheapest, but shared hosting has its limitations. It's best for small to medium projects and you share server resources with others. This can lead to performance or even security issues. The latter issues are rare with my recommendations, but performance can vary depending on your project and your neighbors. I admit, I might have crashed a few servers for people back when I was learning. I guess infinite loops aren't liked in programming. When your project grows, you can choose to use a virtual private or fully dedicated server. VPS is a step up from shared, meaning that while you do share servers with others, you're also isolated from them by your private virtual server infrastructure. Dedicate upgrades to a full-on server for your site only. The benefits of this should be clear: better performance, flexibility, and adaptability to large projects. But these plans cost a lot, and if you're not willing to pay even more for managed services, you'll have to do all the manual tasks on your own, which isn't impossible, but will require a lot of work and learning. A newer type of hosting that has emerged is called cloud hosting. It works sort of like VPS, but instead of all hardware being located in one physical server, it's made out of a network of virtual and physical servers. This ensures that if any part or hardware goes out for some reason, it can be instantly replaced by another in the network. This is a great hosting choice for sites needing to be online as much as possible, news sites, online stores, etc., but does cost more and can be a bit overkill for simple sites. I've mentioned that WordPress recommends Bluehost. It also suggests Hostinger and DreamHost. That's because they have WordPress optimized plans. What exactly does that mean? Well, honestly, it depends from provider to provider what optimized means. But usually, it has better performance, a few extra tools, or specialized support. If you only plan to work with WordPress, then this type of hosting might be for you. Though Hostinger shared plans are also optimized for WordPress, so you're getting a few types of hosting in one plan. Look, my best advice is this. Don't be afraid to make a choice, but you don't need to exceed your budget. The thing with web hosting is that it's easy to upgrade to different plans, different types, or simply move your site to another better provider. Don't expect good things from free hosting. Most premium providers have support teams ready to help you out. Besides, some have already implemented AI to help make setup and management even easier. I definitely recommend you try out Hostinger or Bluehost yearly plans to test out with their easily cancelable 30-day money-back guarantee. So that's it for today's What is Web Hosting Explainer. Web hosting is becoming easier each year, and you should never be discouraged. The web is here to teach you how to host. Just pick good, affordable providers and use the discount links below. Thanks for watching my video on understanding web hosting. If you still have questions about how to host a website, feel free to ask. We'll try to answer as many as we can. You can always find more useful content by subscribing to the channel, and a like on the video always gives you karma points. Anyway, I'll see you all later.